If you've not been paying attention to the cryptocurrency world, there's three major things you need to know. The first is that Elon Musk revealed his position in cryptocurrencies as well as his companies. The second thing is that Amazon is looking to hire a cryptocurrency expert and potentially accepting cryptocurrencies down in the future. And the third thing is that Bitcoin rose from 40,000 to 50,000 Canadian in the span of 24 hours. We're going to talk about all three of these things in this action-packed episode, and at the end of this video, I'll be sharing my TFSA portfolio and what happened in this past week. So let's do it. So starting off with Elon Musk. In this Bitcoin conference, Elon Musk revealed that he himself holds Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin. On top of this, Tesla and SpaceX hold Bitcoin. So in the whole news narrative about Elon Musk being bearish on Bitcoin after saying that Tesla won't be accepting Bitcoin anymore and selling out some of its stake, it looks like this was just a news narrative. It was a lot of FUD in the market. Elon Musk still does believe in Bitcoin because it's a fairly significant portion of his investments outside of SpaceX and Tesla, which probably end up making maybe 90% of his portfolio. He also mentions that Tesla will be accepting Bitcoin in the future on one condition. The energy used to mine Bitcoin as well as hold up the network must be more than 50% renewable. And there are positive signs towards that because a lot of Bitcoin mining is being pushed out of China right now. If you guys haven't seen, the reason why Bitcoin dropped so dramatically before is because the Chinese government was cracking down on these Bitcoin mining operations. And obviously those operations were probably using some sort of coal power. However, now they've been forced to move outside of China, where most Bitcoin mining operations are actually using renewable energy. So I think the likelihood of Tesla accepting Bitcoin in the future is fairly high. Now the second thing we're going to talk about is that Amazon is looking for a cryptocurrency expert and what this might mean for Amazon and crypto in the future. So we're going to hop over to my computer for this segment. This article reads, Amazon posted a crypto job causing Bitcoin prices to soar. Amazon listed a job opening for a digital currency and blockchain product lead, sending cryptocurrency soaring on Monday. It climbed to a 6-week high of nearly $39,000 USD, or roughly $50,000 Canadian. The listing was posted on Friday, and the company is looking for someone with a deep understanding of the cryptocurrency ecosystem and related technologies. The role will be part of Amazon's payment acceptance and experience team, according to the job description. So this might imply that the e-commerce giant could be accepting cryptocurrencies as a payment in the near future. The company did reply that they believe the future will be built on new technologies that enable modern, fast, and inexpensive payments, and hope to bring that future to Amazon customers as soon as possible. But those of you guys who know the cryptocurrency space, especially for Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not exactly the fastest way to transact, nor is it very cheap to do so. So you might be wondering here, why is Bitcoin going up if Amazon might be trying to use it for payments? Or would Amazon even choose to use Bitcoin for payments? Well, for those of you guys who don't know, Bitcoin has a few layers. So the first layer of Bitcoin is where all the transaction fees are extremely high. However, there's something called Bitcoin's Lightning Network. And the problem that Bitcoin's Lightning Network is trying to solve is that the increasing popularity of Bitcoin has a problem with dealing with a large number of transactions over the network. Its design is a limited number of transactions that are allowed on the Bitcoin block, and transactions not processed remain in a queue to be added to the next block. Bitcoin can only process 2 to 7 transactions per second, and if you think about how many different payments are going across our credit card network, there's definitely more than 2 to 7. We're probably talking thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. Now, if we look at the cost in peak network congestion times, fees have spiked to an excess of $50. So let's say you want to go to Starbucks to buy a coffee for $4 or so, you're paying $50 in transaction fees if you're using the Bitcoin network. However, Lightning Network solves this problem, where they're on a different layer where you're not actually transacting on the Bitcoin layer or layer 1. And how it works is that it allows instantaneous transactions between parties in the system. And behind every Lightning Network or every single transaction on the network, it doesn't need to be recorded on the Bitcoin blockchain. Instead, only the transaction that creates the channel and the exit transaction are recorded on chain. Everything else is recorded on the Lightning Network. So let's say you and a guy named Sam decide to set up a Lightning Network channel. You guys would open the channel and maybe pay a fee of $10 or so, but you could transact over the Lightning Network for years before closing that channel. And every time you use the Lightning Network, they boast that it's as cheap as 1 Satoshi or 0.000000001 Bitcoins. And if we look at how much that's worth in dollar terms today, we're talking about less than 1 cent Canadian. So this allows for transactions to be done in Bitcoin for extremely cheap, and it's probably on the same level as Ethereum or Dogecoin, or even less than that. Now the last thing that I mentioned is that crypto went from 40,000 to 50,000 in one single day. And this is actually tied to the Amazon news, because Amazon being such a large company, over $1 trillion, that could possibly be accepting Bitcoin in the future, this has gotten people to speculate about Bitcoin again. If you guys have been watching my series, you guys know that I'm bullish on Bitcoin in the long run. I don't believe that Bitcoin's bull run, at least in this cycle, is over yet. We're probably going to see it happen at the end of this year. As well as, if I am wrong on this fact, no one who's ever held Bitcoin for more than 4 years has ever lost money. And that was one mistake that I made in 2017, where even though I bought at the very tip around $20,000 USD, if I held on to that Bitcoin today, I would still be up on that position, as the price of Bitcoin in USD is sitting around 40 to 45,000. So I would have doubled my money in 4 years, even though I bought at the peak in 2017. So this time around, I'm not going to make that same mistake and sell out of my holdings. And yes, maybe I did buy a little bit higher than most people who are buying right now, but if I do hold for 4 years, I should surely enough double my money at least. But this type of investing does take someone who's got a lot of gut, because when you see that Bitcoin position down 90% or 85%, the one thing you want to do is just be like, you know what, I was wrong, I'm going to cut my losses and sell. However, that is the biggest mistake that I believe that a cryptocurrency investor could make right now. If they do see their position drop in the next 2 years or so, down by 80%, just hold on to it. I would not sell it, because Bitcoin still is in its infancy and there's still a lot of use cases going forwards if you do believe in that. But one thing that I would caution against is putting 100% of your money into cryptocurrencies. I put maybe about 5% of my entire wealth into cryptocurrencies. I think that there's still a lot of risk with it, and I could be wrong. However, history does point to that I'm probably going to be right. But obviously, I'm biased and I have my own convictions. You have to make this decision for yourself. I'm not here to say that you need to buy Bitcoin, but I think that there's a very good case that Bitcoin is a great store of value, as well as a unit of transaction in the future with a Lightning Network. Now, before we jump into my portfolio, if you guys want to learn more about investing or how to make spreadsheets, I've got 2 courses down below. You can sign up for a free Skillshare trial, and you can watch those courses completely for free. And lastly, if you guys want to check out my Patreon group and want to see what I'm buying or selling, or some of my stock market thoughts, I've got links down below as well. And if you guys want some free cash and start investing, you can sign up for Wealthsimple Cash or Wealthsimple Trade and get $25 each. All right, let's jump over to my computer now. So I'm recording this on Monday, July 26, and you can see my portfolio percentage change since the beginning of this series is 1.72% in the green. However, versus the index, I'm still down 3.31%. And if we rewind to last week, I was in the red. So over this previous week, it looks like my portfolio has been back up into the green. Currently, its total market value is $5,730, and the book value is $5,633. If we jump over to what I bought this previous week and scroll all the way down, we can see that I bought shares of DCM, 10 of them at $1.26. I bought a share of TD Bank at $83 per share, and I bought 2 shares of TELUS at $27.66. And finally, I bought 2 shares of Air Canada at $24.70. Jumping over to the portfolio, if we just sort the portfolio by the current market value, not too much has changed. Power Corp Canada, Enghouse, and Canaxis still hold the top spots. However, Bitcoin has come back. And I spoke about Bitcoin earlier, so I won't go too much into it. But I think that, again, my plan with this position is to hold this for the short-term-ish, at least till the end of this year, when the final bull run occurs. Before, I used to be down about 20% on this position when it was down in the $5 range. And now I'm back only down about 5%. We'll have to see how Bitcoin plays out this week, and maybe there'll be another push up, but very well it could go back down. And I think that there was a lot of good news with this whole Amazon posting of a crypto in play, but I won't be holding my breath hoping that it'll continue to skyrocket this week. And I think that's too much short-term thinking. My style of investing is more so long-term investing, or relatively my style of investing is a bit more long-term or maybe medium-term, anywhere from 6 months to 10 or 20 years. But for the most part, I'm buying into these positions for at least 5 years, with the exception of Bitcoin, which is really the only position that I'm in it for about less than a year. Now moving on to what I'll be doing this following week. Looking at my lowest positions, or the positions that I'm down on the most, DCM I'm down 12%. But again, this is not a short-term play, this is a longer-term play. I believe this company is going to be around $3 or so one day based on their revenues as well as their cash flows. And right now they've dipped back down to $1.21. Hopefully I'll be able to pick up more shares around $1.10. For now, I might average in over the next weeks 10 shares at a time, but not too much. I'm going to be building up this position through dollar cost averaging instead of trying to build it up really quickly. And the target allocation I'm hoping for is somewhere around maybe 3 to 4%. Right now we're at 2.5%, so there's still a bit more room for this to run. Another share that I'm planning to add is TD Bank. Right now I'm down about 1.45% on this position. I think fair value is somewhere around $80 to $83 per share. So I'll probably add one more share of TD just like I did last week. There is one other stock that's a technology stock that I'm looking into right now. I haven't yet figured out if I want to add it to this portfolio or if the price is right for that, but stay tuned. If you want to know what that stock is, then hit that subscribe button down below. If you want to learn more about cryptocurrencies, I've got 2 other videos on the screen for you. If you're there, I'll see you there. If not, keep up the grind and have a great day.